Holding back tears, an emotional Prince Harry accused UK tabloids of making his wife Meghan's life an absolute misery as he finished testifying at London's High Court. The Prince has been pursuing legal action for years against the publisher of British tabloids Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday. He and 6 others, including pop icon Elton John, accuse the 2 tabloids of privacy invasions and unlawful information gathering. This includes illegally intercepting voicemail messages, listening in on phone calls, and deceptively obtaining private information. The publisher has consistently denied the claims, calling them lurid and preposterous. Harry stepped back from royal duties in 2020 and eventually relocated to California with Meghan amid a bitter family rift. But the couple have long complained about media intrusion and Meghan's treatment by Britain's newspapers after years of negative stories about her. King Charles III.
We start with a palace that is supposed to be a symbol of stoicism, dignity, and the never complain, never explain mantra. But what if I told you, dear viewers, that behind the gilded doors, chaos has quietly festered for years? And now the whispers have exploded into something so jaw-dropping that even seasoned palace aides reportedly have trouble sleeping at night. The person at the eye of this storm? Sources claim it's not the young royals, it's not the glamorous newcomers, it's someone far more calculating. Someone who allegedly knew exactly what was coming and tried to warn the family, only to be ignored. Yes, we're talking about the Princess Royal herself, Princess Anne, known for her no-nonsense approach, her piercing gaze, and, as insiders now claim, her ability to spot manipulation from a mile away. Now, before we dive into the fine details, let's paint the scene. Imagine yachts glistening in the Mediterranean sun, with night after night of private dinners, champagne flowing, and elites from across the Gulf, Hollywood, and international finance rubbing shoulders. At first glance, it's glamour, it's celebrity. But according to our sources, who insist on remaining anonymous for fear of professional retaliation, these weren't just social events. No, these were meticulously orchestrated networks of influence, strategically placing certain individuals within reach of the royal family. It's what insiders call strategic social placement, and if you think it sounds harmless, think again, because the dossier that allegedly exposed all of this reportedly blew the roof off Buckingham Palace's quiet control. Why does this matter? Because this isn't just a story about lavish yachts or glamorous dinners. It's about influence, access, and control. How wealth and power quietly manipulate even the most hallowed institutions. And at the center of it all, our sources claim, was an individual who used charm, discretion, and an uncanny ability to read rooms to quietly insert themselves into the royal orbit over multiple years. The palace, our insiders insist, had been monitoring this activity for years, cataloging every unusual gift, every trip, every invitation to private gatherings. And the reports, allegedly prepared with meticulous care, were labeled high risk by intelligence officers who knew exactly what they were looking at. Here's the kicker. Princess Anne reportedly confronted the young royal involved with the dossier in hand, warning him about the patterns, the potential dangers, and the implications. But what happened? According to insiders, he dismissed her concerns, choosing to believe in the narrative of love, loyalty, and good intentions. Hubris, perhaps. Naivety, almost certainly. And this is where the seeds of scandal reportedly took root. Let's rewind for context. Between 2015 and 2022, multiple high-profile social events, trips, and gifts allegedly created a web of influence that insiders now claim was impossible to ignore. According to the internal commentary, these events weren't random. They were carefully orchestrated with specific people, precise timings, and elaborate arrangements meant to maximize access and visibility. Lavish gifts reportedly arrived from international figures with ties to governments, finance, and even shadowy geopolitical interests. Palatial insiders allegedly flagged these gifts as concerning, noting that the scale of the expenditure and the profiles of the donors set off multiple red alarms. But the warnings, as we now know, were brushed aside. And it wasn't just the gifts. Travel patterns, itinerary alignments, and unexpected appearances at high-stakes international gatherings were cataloged and analyzed. According to sources, there were entire spreadsheets detailing the movements of the individual in question, hours spent on yachts, meetings with unknown elites, attendance at high-profile private parties. This wasn't casual socializing, it was strategic placement. Our insiders even claimed that palace security and intelligence officers debated whether this person was being positioned for personal advantage, political leverage, or even something darker, something that could compromise the royal family's reputation. Publicly, of course, the royal narrative remained pristine. Smiles for cameras, carefully worded statements, and the familiar air of decorum. But behind the scenes, according to leaked commentary, palace aides were frantically trying to reconcile what they were seeing with what they were allowed to disclose. Some aides reportedly whispered that it was the most audacious breach of protocol in decades, while others feared the fallout could lead to resignations, legal inquiries, or even international embarrassment. And the dossier, allegedly compiled over years, included every documented anomaly, travel receipts, photographic evidence, social alignments, and yes, even statements from anonymous insiders who had been watching quietly from the wings. Let's talk financials. Our insiders claimed that the spending patterns of this individual were so extravagant they reportedly dwarfed what a mid-tier royal might expect. Yachts, tens of millions per week, jewelry, gifts that would shock even seasoned auctioneers, private events, hosted at venues with security protocols that rivaled embassies. And yet, the palace reportedly noted something even more troubling. The flow of resources didn't match any conventional income. In other words, it wasn't just expensive, it was inexplicably so. How do you fund that level of lifestyle? Who is providing it? And why did the palace allegedly ignore these questions until it was nearly too late? The tension reportedly escalated when Princess Anne allegedly laid the dossier in front of the young royal, explaining, in precise and chilling terms, the concept of strategic social placement. According to insiders, she warned that individuals do not randomly float through these elite circles. They are positioned, they are invested in, they are curated. And every gift, every invitation, every handshake carries meaning. It's leverage, influence, a silent contract of sorts where loyalty and access are traded for, well, something. And the young royal, so insiders claim, was allegedly blind to the warning signs. He reportedly saw charm, he saw love, he saw someone navigating public life with grace, but he did not see the underlying architecture of control that Princess Anne had painstakingly mapped out. By the time photographs allegedly surfaced showing yachts, glamorous parties, and international elites mingling, insiders claimed that the palace realized the scale of what had been happening under its nose. And the revelation reportedly caused a cascade of internal meetings, confidential memos, and emergency consultations. Legal teams were mobilized, advisors were asked to reassess protocols, and the individual in question? Well, according to sources, they continued to move through the royal sphere with calculated ease, unaware or perhaps indifferent to the storm that was quietly gathering. Public opinion, our sources suggest, is split. On one side, you have those who see the unfolding narrative as a shocking betrayal of trust and tradition. On the other, there are those who dismiss it as exaggerated, a tale spun from gossip and imagination. But insiders insist the reality is far more dangerous than the public can see, because this scandal, unlike trivial celebrity gossip, involves access, influence, and the silent levers of power that the average person cannot touch. And the dossier allegedly proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that what appeared to be casual socializing was anything but. According to our so-called sources, and let me emphasize, these are insiders who claim to have seen confidential briefings, internal memos, and even photo evidence, the dossier that Princess Anne allegedly warned about contains revelations so explosive they could shake the monarchy to its core. And the first thing to understand is this: what the public sees as social gatherings, photo ops, or casual parties, our sources insist those were carefully curated events, orchestrated to position a certain individual not just socially, but strategically. Every appearance, every handshake, every smile allegedly had a purpose. According to the leaked internal commentary, these gatherings weren't about friendship, they were about influence, investment, and leverage. Imagine yachts in Monaco, Mediterranean parties with private security rivaling embassies, and dinners where conversations reportedly revolved around confidential business deals, geopolitical maneuvering, and yes, financial transactions that no one outside the inner circle would ever understand. And while most eyes were on champagne, sunsets, and celebrity glamour, the dossier allegedly cataloged every detail: flight manifests, guest lists, jewelry gifts, and even private notes about interactions. And the palace reportedly knew about all of it, but as Part 1 revealed, warnings were ignored. One particularly eyebrow-raising detail allegedly comes from the financial analysis included in the dossier. According to insiders, the individual in question reportedly had access to resources so vast and unexplained that palace auditors reportedly held emergency meetings. Hundreds of thousands in gifts from international figures, luxury accommodations that rival A-list celebrities, and even private jet trips that were allegedly unaccounted for in any conventional sense. The dossier reportedly flagged these expenditures with bold annotations: high risk, investigate source of funds, possible compromise. And yet, insiders say the young royal ignored these red flags, too blinded by loyalty and infatuation to see the implications. But it doesn't stop there. Part of the scandal breakdown allegedly involves communications intercepted or reported by palace aides. According to leaked messages, one of the inner circle reportedly cautioned that certain individuals were curated to serve functions within the royal household: social placement, relationship influence, and even reputation management. Sources say that Princess Anne allegedly warned the young royal that while the person may appear charming, discreet, and loyal, they were effectively an agent of influence, inserted deliberately to gain proximity to the monarchy. In other words, what seemed like love and trust may have been strategic investment in the royal heir. Now, let's talk reactions, both internal and public. According to insiders, when the dossier first circulated quietly among palace aides, the reaction was a mix of shock, disbelief, and fear. Some aides reportedly whispered about potential resignations if the story ever went public. Others allegedly feared that legal repercussions could follow if the unusual financial flows were scrutinized. And yes, anonymous sources suggest that even the young royal was reportedly stunned when confronted with the compiled evidence, though publicly he maintained a posture of calm, charm, and denial. Meanwhile, the fake investigative findings paint a dramatic picture. Allegedly, there are emails showing coordination with international intermediaries, receipts of high-value gifts, and detailed notes about private encounters that were never meant for public eyes.
One such source, described as a palace security analyst, reportedly wrote, "We are tracking the influence vectors. This is not social, this is strategic. Every interaction has purpose, every gift is currency, every move calculated." And insiders claim these emails were shared with Princess Anne long before anyone else in the family knew the full scope. Public reactions, according to our anonymous reports, are mixed but explosive. On social media, whispers of yachts, secret donors, and curated introductions are already fueling speculation. Some commentators allegedly speculate about international influence, potential conflicts of interest, and hidden obligations. Meanwhile, palace insiders are reportedly bracing for the inevitable public scrutiny. One anonymous aide allegedly said, "If this leaks, it will be chaos. People think they understand the monarchy, but they have no idea." And considering the scale of the alleged leaks, that chaos may already be unavoidable. And let's not forget the hypothetical financial scandal. Sources claim that the individual spending patterns, unmatched by any official income, would raise serious questions even for the average person, but for someone under the scrutiny of British intelligence and royal security, the implications are staggering. Yacht trips, luxury accommodations, high-end jewelry, private gatherings with elite guests, these were allegedly not one-offs, but part of a consistent pattern spanning years. And the dossier reportedly includes painstaking calculations showing that the resources were disproportionate to any known earnings. Simply put, the math didn't add up. And the palace allegedly knew this long before anyone else. But there's more. According to our sources, the dossier allegedly details what some are calling strategic compliance. That is, the individual in question was not only placed within these elite circles, but reportedly trained, guided, and evaluated to ensure that their behavior, discretion, and charm would maximize access and influence. Insider notes reportedly describe meticulous observations, how to speak, where to appear, whom to impress, and even when to deflect attention. In the dossier, one anonymous analyst allegedly wrote, "The subject's social calibration is near perfect. This is not natural charisma. This is cultivated. This is strategy." And for palace insiders, that was the red flag that Princess Anne reportedly tried to communicate. One particularly dramatic detail from the leaked reports allegedly involves high-profile gifts with direct ties to controversial figures. According to sources, there were items of staggering value, jewelry, watches, even private art pieces donated from sources with direct connections to international elites. And while publicly these gifts were framed as gestures of friendship or admiration, insiders claim that Princess Anne allegedly recognized them as instruments of influence, a subtle yet powerful way to create obligations, loyalty, and leverage. And our sources suggest that the young royal allegedly failed to recognize this, seeing only the glamour, not the game behind it. The fallout within the palace, insiders say, is equally dramatic. Leaked memos reportedly discuss potential legal consequences, possible breaches of security protocol, and even damage containment strategies. According to these reports, advisors debated whether the young royal could be exposed to reputational or legal risk, whether sensitive information might leak to foreign intelligence agencies, or whether international conflicts could be triggered by associations with certain guests. And one memo, allegedly written in frustration, reportedly reads, "We warned him. Every red flag was documented, ignored, and now the liability is enormous." And then there's public perception. Our anonymous sources claim that palace aides anticipate outrage, confusion, and rampant speculation once the details are fully understood. According to insiders, the dossier is so detailed that even casual observers will notice patterns that hint at deliberate influence, strategic social placement, and manipulation at a scale rarely seen outside intelligence dossiers. Some experts, according to these leaks, predict that once the story reaches social media, public debate could become frenzied, with viral speculation, memes, and conspiracy theories dominating the conversation.
According to insiders, what was once considered private, manageable information has now become explosive evidence that could destabilize decades of protocol, trust, and public perception, and the young royal, who ignored repeated warnings, is allegedly facing the consequences head-on.
Hypothetical legal analysts, according to our insider leaks, are reportedly poring over the dossier, debating potential breaches of international law, compliance issues, and financial irregularities. One anonymous source allegedly described the situation as a perfect storm of liability, reputation, and global optics, warning that any misstep could lead to investigations spanning multiple continents. The palace, sources say, is considering everything from formal inquiries to private settlements, though insiders stress that secrecy remains paramount. After all, when the British monarchy is at risk, public perception is as crucial as the law itself. Public backlash is already rumored to be intensifying. According to social media leaks reported by our sources, hashtags questioning loyalty, influence, and privilege are trending across multiple platforms. Anonymous commentators allegedly highlight the lavish yachts, expensive gifts, and the curated access network as evidence that the individual in question may have operated within a parallel system of power, entirely independent from the monarchy, yet dangerously entwined with it. Public forums reportedly buzz with outrage, curiosity, and disbelief, some praising Princess Anne for her foresight, others blaming the young royal for naively ignoring warnings. Financial fallout, sources claim, could be equally dramatic. According to our leaks, auditors are examining unexplained expenditures, potential conflicts of interest, and the possibility of undisclosed payments or investments tied to international elites. Palace insiders allegedly warned that the scope of financial scrutiny could be unprecedented. A so-called financial analyst source reportedly stated, if even a fraction of these expenditures are tied to external influence, we're talking about audits that could make governments nervous. And the ripple effect doesn't stop there. Investors, charity boards, and even diplomatic partners may allegedly take notice, raising further questions about accountability and transparency. Hypothetical resignations are reportedly on the table. According to insiders, some aides, advisors, and officials who failed to flag red alerts earlier are allegedly preparing exit strategies. And while these resignations may never be officially announced, the palace reportedly hopes that quiet departures will reduce internal tension and prevent leaks. But sources whisper that such moves may actually fuel public speculation, turning what should have been a private resolution into a full-blown media spectacle. After all, silence rarely convinces the masses, especially when explosive allegations are circulating online. Government probes, according to our insider reports, are also being hypothetically considered. While no official announcements have been made, sources claim that intelligence agencies are reportedly reviewing potential breaches of protocol, undisclosed interactions with foreign elites, and financial anomalies flagged in the dossier. According to anonymous analysts, even a minor confirmation of these allegations could spark parliamentary hearings, international scrutiny, and a tidal wave of press coverage. The palace reportedly fears that such public attention could compromise not only the royal family, but also ongoing diplomatic relationships. Meanwhile, public sentiment is reportedly teetering on a knife's edge. Sources say that some commentators are calling for accountability, insisting that the young royal must address the ignored warnings and public perceptions of negligence. Others allegedly suggest that the individual in question may be unfairly vilified, with critics overlooking the fact that much of the alleged behavior was directed, orchestrated, or influenced by unseen international networks. Social media chatter reportedly includes hashtags such as Royal Exposed, Yachtgate, and Anne was right, fueling debate across continents. Memes, satirical posts, and viral videos reportedly amplify every tiny detail, turning private palace concerns into global entertainment. Then there's the personal fallout. According to insiders, relationships within the royal family are reportedly strained to the breaking point. Trust has allegedly eroded, alliances have shifted, and private discussions are now reportedly dominated by questions of loyalty, influence, and accountability. The young royal, who once viewed himself as the hero saving the outsider from a cruel press and rigid institution, reportedly faces a reality check. The narrative he built around love, duty, and rebellion may have been manipulated, strategically influenced, and financially orchestrated from the shadows. Princess Anne, who allegedly warned him years ago, now reportedly stands vindicated, her foresight stark against the backdrop of chaos. The hypothetical international implications, according to our insider leaks, are just as dramatic. The dossier allegedly connects high-value gifts, private gatherings, and strategic introductions to global elites in the Middle East, Europe, and beyond. Diplomatic sources allegedly warn that if these interactions were scrutinized publicly, questions about influence, diplomacy, and obligations could surface. Analysts speculate that even minor exposure could lead to formal inquiries, reputation management crises, and questions about the role of monarchy in global networks. The stakes, insiders say, are nothing short of monumental.
And then there's the media reaction. According to insiders, tabloids, investigative journalists, and social commentators are reportedly preparing to dissect every leaked detail, scrutinize every yacht itinerary, and analyze every gift. The palace reportedly anticipates intense coverage, ranging from sympathetic narratives highlighting naivety to scathing critiques painting the young royal as a pawn in a global game. Leaks, insiders say, could fuel further speculation about strategic social placement, financial influence, and potential conflicts of interest. Every headline, every photo, and every tweet could become a piece of the puzzle the public is eager to solve. Finally, the cumulative effect of these alleged revelations is nothing short of dramatic. According to sources, the young royal reportedly faces a reckoning. Public perception, internal family relationships, legal scrutiny, and potential international consequences all collide in a perfect storm. Princess Anne, who allegedly predicted every move, now reportedly watches with vindication as the warning she delivered years ago unfolds in real time. And the public? They're left to debate, speculate, and decide where accountability truly lies, while the palace braces for the inevitable scrutiny that follows a story of such magnitude. As Part 3 nears its conclusion, the question becomes clear. Who bears responsibility for ignoring repeated warnings, misjudging intentions, and underestimating the complexities of influence and power? Was it naivety, arrogance, or simply a lack of understanding of the stakes? And as palace aides reportedly whisper about potential strategies for damage control, the public is left with speculation, memes, and viral commentary filling the void of official statements. In this climate of tension, uncertainty, and explosive allegations, one thing is reportedly certain: the Saudi dossier, yachts, gifts, and strategic social placements have transformed what may have seemed like private relationships into a public spectacle, a cautionary tale, and an investigative goldmine for those willing to look beyond the headlines. And the palace? Sources allege that it is quietly preparing, recalibrating, and bracing for the inevitable fallout from revelations that could change the monarchy forever. With every leaked document, every rumor, and every viral post, the story allegedly grows more complex. The young royal reportedly faces a choice: confront the reality, acknowledge the warnings, and repair trust, or continue ignoring the evidence, risking further public backlash and familial estrangement. According to insiders, even a small acknowledgement could calm speculation, while silence, they say, fuels the fire. And judging by social media chatter, the fire is already raging.